brothers.
Change. So my generation got something to gain. No need for the fighting, what that's gonna get you, but death and the suffering, killing the pain. Different skin color.
Sir, the court believes you represent a danger to the community. This appears not to be an isolated incident. The court notes the strength of the case against you. The court also notes that a police officer had a shot taken from him, most likely from the vehicle you were in, where there were 2 guns found, where shortly thereafter you bailed out of that car. And
Your Honor, I
don't
read a
interrupt me,
call
sir.
that have been...
And something that you don't know about me is that I was actually born and raised in Honduras. So I had to be laid off from school to learn English.
And that's why you don't have any respect for our laws here?
And how do
personal property?
How do you take me taking a year away from learning English as disrespect, as me learning disrespect to the law,
When I get into
authority?
I'll explain.
Yeah, but you referred to him because he was being born in Honduras.
Yeah.
That's
I
why
didn't
you
refer
don't
to
have...
him. I
Well, that's what he spoke of.
Right?
You related it to his Honduran heritage. That's exactly what you related it to. You said,
Okay.
that's why. That's why what then? What is the that's why from?
Maybe because he's not familiar with our laws here. I don't know. Okay. 2 days prior, my son had an altercation with another student at the school. We assumed.
Your son?
Yeah.
Your son had an altercation with somebody? Your pure son? With no Honduras in him?
Yes.
Pure as snow?
Yes.
Uncut? Born here?
I think this whole situation got blown out of proportion, and I do want to apologize for my behavior. I guess this is me just getting overreacting, over riled up. I've been doing this a lot. It's like, so when I snapped on you, it wasn't like intentionally. You know, I apologize about that.
You've not learned anything. I think you need help. You need direction. You need therapy. You need boot camp.
And I think you need a life.
Michael, he seems like a cool guy. I don't know, he can't really dress, but other than that,
He didn't make an impression with me at all, like not a good or a bad. I don't even remember him.
Neutral. Okay,
Yeah.
JJ? Michael's got a twinkle in his eye. He's a young man, and I'd have to see more, but he seemed very open. Okay? Yeah.
all right, well, okay, I'm going to say that he's, looks like he's native Texas, and being from Texas, I would have to support that. But I don't like him on the fact that he's black. Absolutely not.
David?
And I knew this was going to come. You know, I don't like him because he's black.
Are you even serious right now?
You know, I'm a minority, but I got a problem.
I was gonna say.
Hold on.
You're like a minority yourself.
Absolutely.
You're like,
rode in yesterday together, so I am to assume, based on what you just said, that you don't like me because I'm black?
I'm talking in general sense here, but the fact is...
General sense? How much more general than you can be? Then you're sitting in a car with somebody, you're riding in it, you said it, you opened it up.
Am I?
Okay,
let me tell you this.
Okay,
it doesn't matter if we rode in or not. It doesn't matter. I don't know you from anybody, okay? You don't share the same path. But you know what? My personal beliefs and my personal experience, I don't like them. I never have, and I never will.
What is it about black people that you don't like?
This ought to be good.
Yeah. I'm strapping in for this one.
Yeah, well, strap tight.
You might want to strap. Me in for this one.
Well, the thing is, you know, based on the experience and the people I've worked with, where I come from, I'm sick and tired of people thinking, specifically I am mentioning black people, thinking we owe them something, that the world owes them something. I'm totally opposed to affirmative action. I don't want people to give me a job just because I'm brown. I want people to know that I have the credentials. You know, Polynesians don't have a BET. We don't get all pissed off when we don't have an NAACP that comes and, First off, I just want to know where you're from. I grew up on the islands. Where? Overseas. Overseas? There's no black people over there?
Where overseas? Like what islands?
Near the Hawaiian Islands.
The Polynesian Islands.
And the Polynesian, yes.
When did you come to America?
And I live in the South. So there are plenty of black people there. And I had quite an opportunity to be able to work with these people. And you know what? No, I won't.
That is so and ill-informed and so stupid, even if you didn't believe it. You think I'm going to stand up there and say I'm not going to give some money to somebody because they're white? I mean, you know, some things are better left unsaid.
That would be
rather than have people really realize what an idiot you are. Now, I mean, you are. That is just the most stupid thing. You know, and we meet in the car and we say, hey, we're going to be friends after this. Don't take anything personally. I do take that personally. I do think it's offensive. I mean, the only way that we're going to survive as a people is that we work together and we understand that if there's one person that's oppressed, if there's one person that's a judge, and I don't mean as a people, as black people, I mean as a people who live here on this earth. If there's one woman that's oppressed, if there's one child that's abused, if there's one person that's discriminated against based on some superficial bull, you know, then we're not going to make it.
Get a grip, man, on how the world really works.
Okay, let's stop. Wait. We have plenty more to discuss. So in South Carolina this week, a police officer lost his job for doing his job by subduing an unruly student in a classroom. Now, the spin is that she had her phone out, she didn't want to put her phone away, whatever. I can guarantee you, as a teacher, this isn't the first time this has happened, second, third, fourth. I guarantee it. This is no innocent little lamb. And when you have one student just in a classroom, disrupting the class, making life hell for the teacher and the other students, it is impossible for other students to learn. Now, I do agree. the cop went too far, but I don't think he should have lost his job over it. I think it's high time we start addressing the root causes of all this, the disrespect of teachers, this Black Lives Matter movement, this perpetual chip on your shoulder against everybody that's not like yourself. It's got to stop. We've got to address the culture.
First of all, let me say that the cop was justified in being terminated, but they should go further. I think the district attorney's office should indict him for assaulting that child. Miss Box, nobody supports this student in a classroom because it stops other kids from learning. But what I do have a problem with is men should never deal and handle a woman like the way that cop handled that little girl. To turn that desk over the way he did, grab her around her neck, then grab that child and throw across the room. That is unbecoming of a man with decent character and conduct. That's unbecoming of the conduct of a police officer. They should have got a school counselor, maybe a therapist on therapist on campus with a school counselor and a mental health officer to come to the school and deal with that child. We don't know what was going on with that kid, but no kid should be disruptive in their learning environment. Now, for you to say that we need to deal with the culture of black kids in school, let's deal with the culture of these crazy fanatic white boys who go in schools with guns and shoot and kill everybody. Let me finish. Hold on, wait a minute. Columbine, killing the kids at the elementary school, the shootings in other cities across America have all been crazy little white boys shooting up innocent people. So let's study that culture.
We have the black culture, unfortunately, which has been run, the black community has been run by the Democrats for the last 60 years and has destroyed the black family, destroyed initiative, destroyed self-worth. You have kids out there shooting each other. It's not just white kids. Black kids shoot each other all the time.
Wait a minute. You said address the black culture.
No, address the black culture. The perpetual chip on your shoulder. Blame whitey.
Show some manners. I didn't interrupt you. Show some respect. Don't tell me a damn thing about the black culture and kids in school when it's white boys that go in school and murder all kind of innocent people.
I'll tell you what. When you go into the inner city,
study these fanatic white boys.
When you go into the inner city and start teaching there, you let me know, and then you can have something to say about it.
Ma'am, I went to inner city schools.
I taught there.
And guess what? At the end of the day, there's wolves in sheep clothing every day teaching
Let me
black
tell you
schools.
something. How dare you say that to me?
It's the truth when it comes to you.
Please.
A Fox Sports reporter has been fired from her job after she posted a Facebook Live video with her colleague saying things that she shouldn't have said. According to Raw Story, while participating in a Facebook video broadcast for Barstool Sports, the 27-year-old sports reporter and others appearing on the show mocked the 18-year-old that was recently in the news, Maite Lara Ibarra, who recently revealed that she was her high school's valedictorian and an undocumented immigrant. Now, she had posted a tweet to kind of make a point about undocumented immigrants, specifically Latina, undocumented immigrants, and how they are not what someone like Donald Trump makes them out to be. She's a valedictorian. She's got a full ride to a college. Let me show you her tweet. Valedictorian, 4.5 GPA, full tuition paid at UT, 13 cords, medals, nice legs. Oh, and I'm undocumented.
Amazing.
So that got a lot of attention because, first of all, it doesn't matter how successful you've been, coming out and admitting that you're undocumented not only leads to a lot of hatred on social media, but it could lead to you getting deported, right? So she's incredibly courageous for doing it. But these Fox Sports reporters don't necessarily think so. So let's look at the first video.
With the whole girl, like, I didn't even know Mexicans were that smart. Is that,
Trump Jr.
No, and I'm ready. I know it's fucked up. I didn't mean it like that. Wow. You see, like, I mean, you guys know that the Chinese guy is always the smartest guy in math class.
No, that's a good point. I like that. You get yourself out of the nose there. I like the way you're going.
Okay, I'm not trying to be okay, everybody thinks that. I love black. I love all people. I don't care if you're white, yellow, brown, purple.
Shoes kind of
yellow.
Yeah, shoes are open.
Okay. Yeah, I went to school in Boca, so I know most of that. Like, the way I used to talk to the Jews in Boca, they hated it because I was a server, and I just didn't care, and they would complain and bitch about everything. I gave a guy, like, liver his beer, and he was complaining to me that there was too much head, and I knew that he was a stingy asshole, and he wasn't going to give me a tip, so I go, sir, you're the first guy that's ever complained to me about too much head. So.
Did that win them over?
No, I think that I got fired like 2 weeks later.
KFC, what do you got on there?
Oh my god, I got fired like 2 weeks later because I was being a dick. But anyway.
Cringeworthy.
Wow. Okay, so she didn't just attack Mexicans, she also attacked Jewish people. I mean, she said something, I guess, what could be considered nice about Asians, but it's also a stereotype about them being good at math, right? So she thinks Mexicans are dumb, and she thinks that Jewish people are cheap and stingy. And she, I guess, did not think about what she was doing before she was on this live video, but it eventually got her fired. Fox Sports came forward and said, yeah, Emily Austin's appearance on the social media post was ridiculous, and I'm paraphrasing, and we don't agree with her. It doesn't represent our beliefs and views.
I'm so happy she got fired. I am. I'm so happy she got fired, and I'm so happy that she was so confident in her beliefs that she didn't have to think about what she was saying because it allowed everyone to see her true colors.
Exactly. It's so sad and just funny. I wish I could find it, but we were talking off there. I read this morning where she was trying to apologize because it was in the same article that I was reading that they're saying that she'll probably never get a job again in sports. One, the guy was saying that she wasn't that good to begin with. And two, it's like she was kind of saying somewhat of, oh, I'm so sorry, like, you know, I was just kind of trying to make jokes and stuff like that. No, you weren't. You were saying what you really think inside. You said Boca, which means Boca Raton. It's a heavily, you know, Jewish area in South Florida, right above Fort Lauderdale. I've been there before, and it's like, you know, I've been to Jupiter, Florida, and I've had some of the most racist things ever happen to me in Jupiter in the last 3-4 years. So it's like, you know, I can talk about different things, but when you speak freely like that, you're in a casual conversation, you're on a couch with these guys, you're trying to be, you know, you're the blonde girl, you're trying to make a point. At the same time, she's just literally blowing out everything that's on her heart and inside of her. That was just no effort at all for her.
I feel like people who do on-air work have a responsibility, right? And especially when you're a young person who's on air, who has some influence. Now, I don't know the scope of her influence. I don't know what her following is. But if you're perpetuating stereotypes, or if you're making it seem as though there's some sort of hierarchy based on people's nationality or race, ethnicity, well, you're a disservice, not only to the company that you work for, but for your profession as a whole, and for I guess the whole idea of broadcasting. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have people who do broadcasts have such a privilege. When you really think about it, it's super competitive, it's hard to get these jobs, and once you finally get there, if you use your platform to spout hate, I don't understand you. Like, what are you doing with your life?
And just sheer ignorance. And she's 27, because I know some people say, well, how old is she? No, she's not 17, 18, not to excuse that behavior either, but she's 27 years old. I hope that this is a teaching moment for her. I hope that perhaps she was surrounded in a culture where she believed that was okay, and that's probably exactly what happened, but I hope that she can look herself in the mirror now and go, wow, you know, I might be beautiful on the outside conventionally, but inside I'm pretty freaking ugly, and I need to work on myself and be a lot more empathetic and tolerant.
It's like with Britt McHenry from ESPN, when she had that whole tear down at the parking, you know, with the parking attendant, and then afterwards it's like everyone's all like, oh, I'm sorry, that's not me, I apologize. No, that is you. That is you.
You got caught, bitch.
Why don't you just say, I'm sorry, you know, I was raised a certain way and I do need to reevaluate the way people are. Like, why can't we really, like, take responsibility for what
respect if they said
I would have so much more respect for you instead of you saying, oh, I'm sorry, that really wasn't me, I was just trying to be funny. No, bitch, you were trying to tell the story. I'm sorry, not like in this word, but like, no, you were trying to say what you meant, and that's what it was. I didn't mean bitch in a derogatory sense.
No, we know that. I just said it too.
But yeah, it's just, oh my God, it's...
You're about to meet an elderly veteran from Delaware who, in September 2015, suffered a heart attack. Due to his hospital stay, the man is unable to care for his two beloved dogs, Bailey and Blaze, enter the First State Animal Center and SPCA, a shelter located inside a PetSmart store. The shelter volunteered to take care of Bailey and Blaze until their owner was released from the hospital and back on his feet. Weeks went by, and the man was still too sick to care for the dogs. Bailey and Blaze were eventually put up for adoption. The man was desperately trying to collect the adoption fees. It was just a matter of time before a new family stepped in to adopt them. When the owner was released from the hospital, he breathed a heavy sigh of relief. Bailey and Blaze were still sitting there in the shelter. So, he went to PetSmart with every intention of getting his dogs back, but said he still needed a few more days to gather up the $250 in adoption fees needed to do so. The next day, he returned to the shelter, still needing more time to collect the money. But little did the old veteran know that a huge surprise was in store, and it left him dumbfounded. He reunited his dog without paying any money. He was happy and touched.
25 years.
Yeah, I wish Pops could have been here to see this.
So if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have this.
Yeah. Hey, do you think those old video games are still in the shed?
Yeah, we should check it out for old cards' sake. Whoa!
I can't believe we used to do that.
Jolly good show.
Most people watching this have seen my OG Fairly Odd Parents video, and I thank you for sticking around my channel for so long. And I'm aware that that video is outdated, but to be fair, it ain't blow up until a few months ago. So, in the words of the up-and-coming rapper Future, where your ass was at? I also meant to make a sequel video, and I really did do one. It was just taken down twice. If all goes according to plan, you should be able to watch it after this introduction. This video was written in December, back when there were a handful of episodes of Fairly Odd Parents Season 10 released. So while I do give my thoughts on Chloe, this was before Poof came back that one time, or the switch to Flash animation, which, in a word, is terrible. I will entertain no further discussion. Chloe Carmichael is a new character on the long-running animated series of Fairly Odd Parents. A year ago, I made a video titled What Happened to the Fairly Odd Parents, which I consider my second best video, fully analyzing the history of the Fairly Odd Parents' run and picking apart its decline in quality. That video was released on July 25th, 2015. On January 15, 2016, Season 10 of The Fairly Odd Parents started introducing another new character, Chloe Carmichael, who, after a fairy shortage, is assigned to share Cosmo and Wanda with Timmy Turner. You can tell by my tone that this annoys me to no end, but probably not for the same reasons that everyone else has. When analyzing a premise-based show like The Fairly Odd Parents, it is essential that you fully understand the core of the story. Timmy is an average kid who no one understands. His mom and dad and kind of Vicky, I'm not particularly sure if kids today even know who she is because they barely use her. Hi, bitch, damn. What I said in my last video was about how the show is essentially about how no one around fully understands him, and he's constantly pushed around. It's not until Cosmo and Wanda enter his life that he fully starts to become happy. That's mostly because they're the only people in his life who listen to him and actually got to know him. The heart of the series comes from these three characters and their growing relationship as a family. No one related to Timmy understands him.